Hello everyone and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Okay guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this V front blouse so you can see. So that's just what I decided to name it. I really did not know what to call it. So you can see the beautiful V shape at the front. So this is a really beautiful blouse. So I did this blouse in that's the pattern drafting. I did it before in my one of my live streams. So I decided to do it afresh. That's do the cutting and the sewing here on YouTube. So you can see at the end of the day, this was what I came up with. It really came out really fine. So guys, if you find this video helpful, please, I would appreciate if you hit on the like button. So that's the fabric I'm going to be making use of. Is a 2 yards of fabric. I'm not going to make use of all. Is going to remain. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to draft our back pattern. So I have a line, that's our shoulder line, bust, under bust, waist, and then the full length. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement, and then from there I'll come down by 1 inch and then I'll rule it. So by the way, I'm going to place the measurements I'm making use of on the screen soon. So from that point I'm going to come down by 8 inches, which I am going to use. So those are the measurements which I am going to use as my armhole line. And then from the armhole, so what I'm basically doing, I'm just drafting the back body. So it's just a normal basic bodice. So I'll add my stitching allowance and then I'll add my darts. I'll come to the under bust. I'll divide the under bust into 4, add my darts and then add stitching allowance. The same thing I did for the waist, divide the measurement by 4, add my dart and then add the stitching allowance, and then I'll connect all of these lines together. So like I said, you can see it's a basic, normal, just a normal basic bodice. So the width of the neckline, I did 3 by 2 inches, so you can see. And then at this point, I'm taking my bust span, that's the nipple to nipple. I marked it across all of the lines and then I extended it up. So I came to the shoulder line, I measured what was left, divided it into 2 and then connected it. Why I did this is because I wanted my dart to run from the top to the bottom. Okay, so the next thing now, we'll take out our dart of 1 inch. I took 1 inch to the right and then half inch to the right and then half inch to the left, and then I connected it so to create my dart. So the next thing now, that's all for the back. Okay, so we're going to come back to the back, so let's just continue. So now this is my front pattern, so I'm just going to continue with my front pattern. So and then the next thing I'm going to do, I'll take out, those are all of the lines, are shoulder line, bust line, under bust, waistline. So if you notice, you see that the front waist is a little bit bigger because I opened up more for the front pattern. So the next thing, I came down and then just the same basic bodice pattern. So I'm doing just my normal basic bust here. So that line, I'll use it as my chest line. So from that point, I'll come to the midpoint of that armhole line, and then so the essence of that is for me to be able to mark out my front armhole. So I'll mark that out. Okay, so after marking that out, the next thing I am going to do, I am going to mark my bust span. So I'll use the same measurement that I used, so I'll mark it across all of the lines. So if your bust span, you can measure from one nipple to another and then divide that into 2. So I'll connect them with a straight ruler, so you can see the way I'm connecting them with a straight ruler. So the next thing, I want to create out the bustier part. I'm taking out a dart of about 2 inches or 1.5. So you can take out 2 inches or 1.5 for this, and then I'll curve it, just connect it from that under bust point to my bust point. So after connecting, I'm going to extend this my chest line, the line. So I'll extend it so that I can extend this line. You could do that before, so it's still the same thing. So I'll just extend this. So I'm just trying to extend that line. So the next thing I am going to do, I'll mark my neckline for the front. I'm using 3 inches by 3 inches. That's for the front neckline. So I'll curve it out because it is a high neckline, so you can see what I am doing. By the way, if you find this video helpful, like I said, please hit on the like button. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. So I took the midpoint of what is remaining along the shoulder line, and then I connected that line, just connect it down straight like that so you can see. So this will help to give me my shoulder dart. And then I blended this part because it was a little bit sharp, so you can see I curved it out nicely. Okay, so the next thing I am going to do at this point, I'm just trying to double check. So I came down for my back, from the down part, I came down, I reduced my measurement a little bit. So I just marked it. That's, I reduced it by like half inch. And then from there, I am taking out my full body measurement, divide my bust by 4, add my 2 inches for the dart. I came to the under bust, divide by 4, and then add 2 inches, and then add my stitching allowance. I came to the waistline, I divided the measurement by 4, and then add my 2 inches, and then add my stitching allowance. Okay, and then I came to the down part, I divided the measurement by 4, I added it, and then add the allowance, that's the dart intake, and then I added my allowance. Okay, so after that I connected all of these lines together. So can you see? So you can see what I am trying to do. So after connecting all of this line, the next thing, I want to snatch that waist area. I want to snatch it in a little bit. Okay, so what I did, so you can see at this point, so I'm just trying to snatch that waist area a little bit. So I came up by 1.5 inches and then came in by like 2 inches. So like basically I'm taking out 2 inches from that part. You understand? So I just like the whole allowance that I put, I'm like taking it out and just leaving like a quarter of an inch at that waist part. Okay, so you, and then for the v at the front, I came down, I used 1 inch and then marked it up to that waistline. So later that 1 inch that I used was not enough. I, at the end of the day, I used like 1.5 inch or 2 inches. That's for the v. So for this part, I'm just trying to curve this, so I came up by 3 inches and then connected it straight to the midpoint of the front. Okay, so at this point, what I did, I just realized that that was not sharp enough, so I went up, back. So and then I'll cut out the side. Remember the back panel, so this is the back. So now I brought it back and then placed them together. So I want to use the back and the front, as I want to cut them so that it will have the same side shape. Okay, the only difference between the back and the front is that the back will not have that sharp v. So and then I'm going to cut out my back pattern. So at that point, I was just trying to curve that part out for the back. So I did not curve it on the exact line, but later I later curved it because the side of the back and the side of the front, they have to align. So note whatever you are doing, so you can use, you see that I've cut it out. Everything I've aligned. The only difference is that the front is going to, because of that V, when you add this V now, it will make the front to be sharper. So next thing, I'm just trying to cut out the bustier part of my pattern, for my front pattern. So after cutting out everything, you can see the way it looks. So there's something I realized when I was making this dress, that my dress, it was not long enough. So if you want to make this, you just make the front, make it long like 25. So I'm going to transfer everything to my fabric. So I've cut out all of my fabrics. So you can see, so that's the front and then the back fabric. So like I said, if you are doing this, make the front very long. You can make it 25 to 26. That's for the front length. So that view will be very pronounced. So that was what I realized later for mine. So I'm going to stitch all of my dart lines together for my front piece. So like I said, please, if you want to register for your online classes, you can see my number on the screen. You can send me a message on WhatsApp. And then if you want to order any dress from us, if you want to order any dress, we make dresses on order, you can send us a message on WhatsApp also. Okay, so I am trying to stitch the other part. So after joining, this is how it looks like. I actually did not pad this blouse. That's, I did not put any pad at the chest. I just made it that way. Okay. So at this point, I'm just trying to shape everything and then cut out. It's okay, yes, there's something I realized, the center, because I wanted that my V to be pronounced, so I had to stitch the center. So when I was transferring to the fabric, I added an extra 1 inch to my center piece, okay? So you can see that I have a line running at the center. This is, please, it is optional. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. So I just wanted, this will help. It's like a dart, like you are darting the middle. It will help make the V to be really pronounced. So that was why I added the extra 1 inch, and then I now held it. So it now made the V at the front to open nicely. Okay, so this is the neckline, and I brought back my pattern, so I'm trying to cut out the neckline for the front. So most times I like coupling before I cut out my neckline. Okay, so the next thing now, I am trying to do like my final shape before I turn with my lining. So at this point, I'm just trying to check to make sure. So whatever you do, make sure that the side of your front pattern and your back pattern, they align together. Okay, so you can see I am trimming, but you see the way I trimmed it, you see that I did not get to the down part, the center back part of the front. You can see that V shape. So at this point, I trimmed that V shape. I opened it more. You see? So that was why I said I used, at the end of the day, I used almost like 2.5 inches for the down part, but the tip is going to be tiny. So you can see it's opened more. So the next thing now, I am going to couple, that's join them together. Initially, I wanted to do an inseam finishing, that's like join my linings, and then fabrics together. So that was what I actually wanted to do. I had already started doing it, but I later changed my mind. Why did I change my mind? So that I'll be able to tighten the waist area very well. So that was why I changed my mind, and then did normal lining, that's this normal lining turning. So with this one, you can really adjust your tightness at that waist area. So that was why I did it. So you can see the back. So you see the way the back looks. It looks good, it looks okay. So you can see where my hand is. You make sure that the front and the back, they meet at that point. But you see the front part, it is longer. You understand? So because of that extra inches that you add to the front, it will make it longer. So at this point, I'd added one sleeve, just a normal basic sleeve. So I didn't show that. So if you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button. And then I'm going to join the second sleeve and then show you the final look. Okay, so you can see this is the final look of our V-shaped front blouse. You can see it came out really fine. So if you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. I would appreciate. Like the video, share it with your friends and your colleagues. I would really appreciate that. So guys, thank you so much. I'll see you in my next tutorial video. Bye.